Happy Monday, everybody. Let's go ahead and start our lesson on multiplying and dividing rational fractions. Don't forget, your builders 27 and 29 are due next Friday. You have a quiz this Wednesday, and Imagine Math is due October 28th. So today we're going to review rational fractions, multiplying and dividing them. Happy Monday. Here's a happy puppy nose. Here's a puppy nose. All right, so let's go ahead and review multiplying fractions. Remember, when multiplying fractions, you will multiply the numerator times the numerator and the denominator times the denominator. So for our first example, it's going to be 2 times 4, which is 8, and 5 times 7, which is 35. So you're always multiplying across when you multiply fractions. When you have a mixed number, you're going to want to change it to an improper fraction first, and then you're going to multiply the numerator times the numerator and so on. So for the first example, we're going to change 1 3/7 to 10/7. So 7 times 1, which is 7, plus 3. So remember, you multiply these two numbers, and you add the top number, and then you keep the denominator. So in this case, it's 7 times 1 plus 3, which is 10 over 7. And then 1 times 6, which is 6, plus 5, which is 11, and then divide by 6. Multiply across, you get 110 divided by 42, and then you will want to simplify that by dividing by 2, and you will get 55 over 21, and you can change it to a mixed number if you like, or keep it as 55 over 21. When you are dividing fractions, remember, when dividing fractions, you must multiply by the reciprocal. Multiplying by the reciprocal. So we're going to keep the first fraction. We're going to change this to multiplication, and then we are going to flip the numerator and the denominator, and that's what it means by multiplying by the reciprocal. So it'll be 3/8 times, flip these two to 3 over 2, and then multiply across. You get 9 over 16. Same thing with these, but you got to change it to an improper fraction first. So it'll be 3 times 2 plus 1, which is 7. Keep the denominator, which is 3. Divided by 9 times 1, which is 9, plus 5, which is 14, divided by 9. Then you're going to keep the first fraction, change it to multiplication, then flip the numerator and the denominator, so you get 9 over 14. Then you're going to multiply across. So 7 times 9, which is 63, over 42. 3 times 14 is 42. And then you can simplify that by dividing by 21, and you will get 3 over 2. You can keep it as 3 over 2 if you like, or change it to a mixed number, which would be 1 1/2. So that's just kind of a recap of what you learned last week. Make sure while you're practicing that you use these as help. So remember, to multiply fractions, you multiply straight across, and then simplify by the greatest common factor. When you're dividing fractions, you multiply by the reciprocal of the divisor. So you're going to flip it. And then with mixed numbers, if there's a mixed number in your problem, you should always convert it to an improper fraction. And as you can see here, you are going to multiply these two, which gives you 21. Then you're going to add the top. So use this as kind of a cheat sheet to help you if you are struggling with any of these concepts. So now we're going to review some of these problems. So I'll walk you through some of these. So I'm going to step away from the computer, so if you can, hopefully you can hear me well. If not, I'll try to speak up as best I can. So on the first one, we just multiply across. We get 10 over 30. And then we're going to simplify. So we're going to divide by 10 over 10, which gives us 1/3. So there's number 1. I'll go multiplication, then division, back and forth. So number 2, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to rewrite it. So I'm going to rewrite it to be 3/4 times 5/2. So don't forget to flip that second fraction there. And then I'm going to multiply across. So I have 3 times 5, which is 15. And then I have 4 times 2, which is 8. I can't simplify that, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it as 15 over 8. 15 over 8, you do not have to change it to a mixed number. So go ahead and keep it as the improper fraction. So 15 over 8. Look at number 3, we're going to multiply across. We get 12 over 56. And then I am going to simplify that. You can divide it by 2. You can divide it by 4. You can't divide it by 3. You can't divide it by 5. 6. You can't divide it by 6. So let's go ahead and divide it by 4. And that'll give us 3 over 14. And that will be our final answer. 3 over 14. 56 divided by 4 is 14. Number 4, I'm going to rewrite it. So we have 1/5 multiplied by the reciprocal. So keep, change, flip, as we like to call it. Then I'm going to multiply across. And I will get 9 over 40. 9 only has 2 factors, really 3 factors, 1, 3, and 9. None of those except for 1 go into 40, so therefore this is our final answer. Let's look at number 5. Let's go ahead and multiply across. I get 8 over 45, and that is simplified. They don't have any common factors. So that is done. Pretty easy one there. Number 6, let's go ahead and rewrite it. So I have 2/3 times its reciprocal, so 3 over 1. I multiply across, and I get 6 over 3. And that just means 6 divided by 3. So I'm going to keep simplifying that down. And I get 2 over 1, which is 2. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Let's look at number 7. Multiply across. I get 7 over 48. And that is simplified. You cannot break that down any further. And number 8, let's rewrite that. 7/9 times 7 over 3. Multiply across. I get 49 over 27. 49 over 27. 27 has 3 factors, 1, 3, and 27. And 9. Don't forget about 9. 49 is pretty easy. It only has 7. So 7 doesn't go into 27, so therefore this is our final answer. So 49 over 27. Let's look at the ones with mixed numbers now. Don't forget to use this as your cheat sheet if you need to. So we're going to rewrite it, but we're going to try to rewrite it mentally because it'll be a lot quicker and because these are all kind of simple mixed numbers to do. So in the first case, we're going to do 2 times 6, which is 12. We're going to add 1, which is 13. And we're going to keep the denominator, so 13 over 6. Then I have 5 times 1 plus 2. So 5 plus 2, which is 7 over 5. Keep the denominator. Now I do everything the same. I multiply across. 7 times 13 is 91. 6 times 5 is 30. 91 is a prime number. So therefore, this is done. You do not have to change it back to a mixed number. Let's look at number 2 here. We're going to change that, both of those two, 1 and 1/4 to a mixed number first, which is 4 times 1, which is 4 plus 1. So 4 times 1 plus 1, that's kind of hard right there, which is 5. 5 over 4. We're going to multiply by its reciprocal, so we're going to flip the 1 over 5. And then we're going to multiply across, which gives me 25 over 4. And we cannot simplify that any further, so we are done. You do not have to change it to a mixed number once again. Let's look at number 3. So change to a mixed number. Change to a number of fractions. So 6 times 1 plus 5. So 6 plus 5, which is 11. Keep your denominator. 2 times 1 plus 1. So 3 over 2. I am going to multiply that across. So 33 divided by 12. And that is simplified. Nope. You can divide that by 3. Excuse me. So 33 over 12. And then we're going to divide by 3 over 3. And we have 11/4. Almost missed that. So simplify that down. 2 1/5, we're going to multiply and then add the top. So 10 11/5. We're going to change it to multiplication. Remember, you always have to add, multiply. And then we're going to first rewrite this. So actually, I'm going to keep it as division, and then I'm going to rewrite it. Okay? So in this case, we have 5/3. Now I rewrite it. I'm going to go ahead and do it up here. So I have 11/5 times 3/5. Multiply across. That gives me 33 over 25. And that is simplified. Look at number 5. Let's change it to a mixed number. I'm sorry, to an improper fraction. So 7 times 1 plus 2, which is 9. Keep your denominator. 2 times 5 plus 3, so 10, 13, divided by 5. Now we're going to multiply it across. 9 times 13 is 90 plus 27, so that's 117 over 35. And let's see, 3 doesn't go into it, 4 doesn't obviously, 5 no, 6 no, 7. See, 70 plus 47, nope. So it is simplified. Do not have to change to a mixed number. Too much work. All right, let's go ahead and multiply, change this to a mixed number. So we have 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 divided by 3. We're going to go ahead and keep it as division until we have changed it. So 6 times 2 is 12, plus 5 is 17. Now I'm going to rewrite it. So I can multiply by the reciprocal. I have 8/3 times 6 over 17. I'm going to multiply across. That gives me 48. Let's see, 30 plus 21, so 51. Yes, you can divide those by 3. So let's go ahead and do that. Simplify it. So I'm going to rewrite it down here. So 48 over 51 divided by 3. I know 30 goes into it 10 times, plus 18, so 16. It looks like it's 30 plus 21, so that would be 10 plus 7, so 17. And there you have it, 16 over 17. 2 more to go. Let's take a look at these. Let's rewrite them to where they are improper fractions. So we have 27 plus 5, so 32. Keep your denominator. Here we have 4 times 2, which is 8, plus 3, which is 11. Keep your denominator. Now we're going to multiply across. 32 times 11. Now here is a great way to make this easier. I am going to simplify before I multiply across. If I do that, then I know it's the correct answer at the end. So in this case, I'm going to it's called cross simplify. I'm going to simplify across from each other. So 32 and 4. So can I divide a common factor there? Yes, I can. I can divide both of those by 4. So I'm going to rewrite each of these. I'm going to divide them both by 4. 32 divided by 4 is 8. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Now I multiply across, and I get my final answer. I will not have to simplify at the end because I simplified at the beginning. Saves me a lot of time, so I don't have to worry about multiplying across. Love doing that trick. And then finally, we have 4/9 divided by, let's go ahead and change this, 7 plus 4, which is 11, over 7. Let's rewrite it to be multiplication. 4/9 times 7/11. Multiply across, and I get 28 over 99. And I can't simplify that, so I am done. So there you have it, a little bit of review. Make sure you reach out to your math teacher if you have any questions or if you need any help with anything. And y'all have a great day.